and we have a good one for the women's division. We have Virna Jandiroba versus Lupita Godinez or Lupi. Virna 19-3. She is 3-2 in her last 5, and she's coming off that decision victory over Marina Rodriguez, fighting off against Lupi Godinez 12-3, 4-1 in her last 5, coming off that split decision win over Tabitha Ricci. If you actually watch the fight, I mean, at least for me, I thought she won pretty clearly, and was very shocked that she had a split decision. So one of those fights where you have to kind of watch the fight to see if it was actually a real split decision. But for me, when I looked at it live, it seemed like Lupi was the clear winner in that matchup. Looking at the odds for this fight, we have Lupi at minus 200, open up at minus 160. So slight action has been taken on Lupi. Yeah, this fight could be tough. I mean, I've been riding Lupi for her last few fights. She's been doing pretty well in her last few fights, obviously. 4-1, right? But unfortunately, I was also riding her on Angela Hill, and it took me a while to kind of recover from that loss because she should have won that fight, and she just got outvetted by Angela Hill, and maybe she wasn't ready for that. But she has come back with 4 straight wins. Each of them are been getting more convincing, or convincing to me as far as she's the high level talent for this division. Yeah, I think that I'm gonna for this fight. I don't know if I want to back either fighter to avoid the headache of just picking a side here. I'm gonna go with the over 2.5 at minus 270 for this fight. That's what the odds were last night. Let's see what it is right now. It's minus 270 still. So yeah, I think that that's a solid parlay piece. I mean, both of these women are more like decision merchants, like when facing similar competition, right? If they're facing competition that is below them, obviously they could potentially get a finish in there. But if you just see most of their wins and how they've been winning, it's been a lot of close fights for similar talent that they're facing. So I think the same thing's going to happen here. I actually think that Lupi is a legit fighter. I think Virna obviously is a legit one too. So I think this fight's going to go decision. I think that this fight will just mainly consist of Virna shooting for takedowns and Lupi having to stuff them for the majority of the fight. I trust Lupi to stay safe even if she gets taken down. I just think that the only danger on this over 2.5 is if obviously Virna finds a sub, which I don't think will happen, or Lupi finds some kind of finish like a sub and club, club and sub, right? And I don't see that happening either. I think Virna's pretty tough, so I consider those to be really low probability outcomes. And I think on the feet though, Lupi will be the better striker and boxer, and I think she should be able to cruise her way to a decision win. But she can't stuff those takedowns, and because Virna goes for the submissions as well, so it's kind of scary facing off against her. I think she has like 13 submissions. Yeah, so she's going for the submission a lot in her fights, and that's something to be aware of for this fight as well. So going with the over 2.5, I like it as a parlay piece. Pick is going to be Lupi by decision, but I like the over 2.5 and minus 270 for this fight.